Hello and welcome to your programming class here at Kirtland College. My name is Melissa Halleck and I am going to be your instructor for this course. I have created this video to kind of help you figure out what's going on in your course, what to do, and how to get started. So here's your home page whenever you first land. I've got some recent announcements posted right up here at the top. I also have here where I'm welcoming you to the course, and we're going to learn a little bit about programming in Java. We're going to use a program called Cengage. So when you get ready to buy your books at the bookstore, what you're going to purchase is a full access purchase to all things Cengage. And then once you've made that purchase, you'll be able to find your assignments here in the class. So just take note that I also have announcements right over here to the left in case you need to click through any of these announcements and know what is going on in your course. And how you're going to actually get started in your course is let's click on modules. In the modules area, we have our weekly modules, and you may not be able to see all of them are obviously not ready just yet, but you can see your first weekly module, and these will be opened up each week as we go. So it makes it much easier to find each week of work and what it is that you're supposed to do. So here in our week one module, we have first of all our week one discussion. So in order to complete your week one discussion, the instructions are right here on the top, and then down here is the question that you're going to answer. So week one says, to complete the below discussion question, feel free to use Google to research and use Test Out Labs if you need to, as well as any personal knowledge you might have. And so whether you're using whatever class, whether you got Test Out or Labs or Cengage or whatever it is, you feel free to use that in your discussion because that's where your learning resources. Okay, you get 20 points for answering the discussion thoroughly, 5 points for each reply to other students with a max of 10 points, totaling 30 points for the whole discussion question below. Okay, and how you are going to reply would be to click reply, and then you can answer the discussion question here. Now, once someone has created their post, and they've given all the information about what OOP is and how this is different from procedural programming, we're going to post a reply, and then our reply will come up. Now, once our reply comes up, then to reply to that person, we're going to click reply, and then we'll be able to say, hello, test student. And don't just say, I agree. Come on, we got to say, hey, I love the way that you did this post, but this is why I love it. This is the part of it that I love. And maybe even add a little bit more information if there's something that you know about it that you can add to the conversation so that we get that conversation going, right? And then you're going to click post reply when you're done. Okay, you're going to cancel that. And if you need to delete a post or edit a post, these 3 little sandwich dots right up here can do that for you. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to the top of the discussion and go back home. No, these requests didn't work out because I actually have 2 accounts. I'm teacher and I was looking like a student in there. And so it's like, hey, what's going on with you? All right. So again, start page to click on home. You know how to get to announcements now. And what about the modules? So let's click on the modules. You notice you've got some different information here. So here's your introduce yourself. You can go in, it's a discussion board. You can introduce yourself to the class. Just let us know what's going on. There's some information on how to get Office 365. There's information on how to get started with the Cengage Mind Tap. And if you have any assignments where you need data files, this is where you'll get them. And here's where I posted my syllabus. So let's look at week one. First thing you're going to do is your week one reading. Let's click on that. Now, of course, because I am a student, you're not going to be able to see this, but when you first open it up, you may need to create your account so that you have access to the materials at cengage.com, and then you have to click this little I have read and agree, and you don't have to click the more information, but then you will click the create account once that's done. Now, once you've got your account set up and then you can get in, this is what you're going to see with your unit reading. Creating Java Programs, Chapter 1, and you want to go through and read all of this information because this is important for you to understand right before you start your programming. Here's, our discussion question is about procedural and object-oriented programming. Look right here. Procedural programming, object-oriented programming, right there in 1-2A and 1-2B. So you can go in and read those and then look at the difference between the two and then answer that discussion question. So just to click on one of the links, you can see it's just a book and it gives you all the information. You can go here to get to your chapter contents. You can go here to click on dictionary terms to try to understand what these dictionary terms mean if you need a little bit more explanation. And then this right here is your arrow over. So that's how you get to your next page. Now when I want to go back to my chapters, I can click on the chapter contents and that will take me back here to the chapter contents. When you're done with all of your reading, you're going to go back into the course, click on modules again, and then here's some different things on the course as well. So if I click on that, it's talking about creating Java comments. And once this gets all loaded, you can actually start this assignment. And then you're gonna get some hands-on practice and play with the coding. Now this stuff isn't actually graded, okay? But this gives you some practice before you jump into the assignment so that you know what it is that you're going to be doing. So it'll tell you topic summary. Comments are non-executing statements that you include in programs for documentation. You might want to include the name of the author of the program or the date it was written, or you might want to include descriptions of a program's purpose and explain any parts that a future program might find confusing. The reason you got to create these Java comments, in other words, is because, most of the time when you're working on a program, you're just fixing somebody else's program. And if they didn't put comments in there, you might be really upset because it's going to take you a lot more time to try to figure out what each section is for. So it has an explanation below that. It says a Java line comment starts with 2 slashes and continues to the end of its line. A Java block comment starts with a / and an asterisk and then continues until there is an asterisk and a slash, even if that is several lines later. So how you're going to do this is play with coding snippets. Hit the run button to see the output in the snippet box. Play around with the snippet code. Change the variable names, change parameters, hit run button again, and see what works and what does not work after you manipulate the code. Run the correct code again to compare it to manipulated code and have fun practicing with the snippet as many times as you like. There are no limits. So you can just go in here and change this code. You can do whatever. This is a comment line, okay? And then this is a block comment. So you've got your examples right here and what it's talking about as far as the comments go on. And then we're using the system.out.print line. So we're going to see this to the screen to comment demonstration program. So even if without any changes, you can click on this and click run and see what it does. And down here in the bottom is where you're going to see the output, comment demonstration program. Just to demonstrate that, let's change the wording. Whoops. I'm all your leader. I am your leader. Oh, I am your leader. I'm really getting good at this. Okay, I am your leader. Now let's quick run. And then if you look in the very bottom, I am your leader. So you can see that these are definitely going to be changing the code, and you can see what's going on down here in the bottom. So if I accidentally forgot my comments, I mean, what would happen to that? I would run it, and then boom, there's an error. This is expected. And so this is good practice, because sometimes it's looking for this little thing, even though what's really going on is we don't have our comments here. So let's put that back and then run it again. And you can see it now does what it's supposed to do. So what the comments do are they're completely ignored by the compiler, and there's no way that it's going to mess up your program, your syntax, or anything like that, because you have it commented out. That means ignore. I ain't going to look at you anymore. I see you there, whatever. Okay. And so you can change a few things on this. Just play around, have fun with it. Have fun with it. That's the whole thing. Studies show that if you are having fun while you are learning, then you're going to remember a whole lot more, okay? So have fun while you're learning. If you have any questions during this process of the course or what's going on, feel free to email me, ask me questions. That's what I'm here for, okay? So let's go back to here. Each of these assignments that are in here that have points assigned or associated with them, you need to make sure you click on each link so that it records the grade for each link, okay? So when you do one, don't just keep going through the Mind Tab thing. Make sure that you come back and then do the next one. So let's look at this programming exercise 1.1 through 1.5, and let's do this first one together just to get you started. So you gotta be a little patient sometimes to load the content, but once you get in here, it's gonna say, please note this will be the first take of your assignment, as take starts when you click the button below and ends when you submit the assignment for grading. You are not limited in the number of times that you can take this assignment. If your computer loses its connection to the server during the take, you'll be able to resume if you return to the assignment within a few minutes. I am not an advocate for saying that you can only do the exercise one time, and if you don't get it right, then you're done, right? No. Do it. Practice. Programming takes a lot of hard work. Please get in there and practice as many times as you want to, okay? It should take the highest grade, but if you see for some reason that it did not take the highest grade, just let me know. I'm not here to say, oh, I'm the expert and there's no way you can be good enough to get an A, right? I'm not like that. I am like, let's learn. If you're putting in the effort that you're putting in the effort to get the A, then you get the A because you put in that effort. You're not expected to know everything when you get here. Okay. So this is programming exercise number 1. Notice just up here at the top that this is the submit assignment for grading. And also notice that you can save as you go. If something happens and you don't want to lose your progress, you can save as you go. I have not double checked to see if it will make you start over or not regardless. I haven't had a chance to check and find that out. So all you need to do is fill in whether or not A is A, legal and conventional, B, legal but unconventional, or C, illegal. So A is equal to B in this case because it's not illegal to use a lowercase letter on a class, but we typically put a capital letter to begin with just because that's good adherence standards. If you're in the programming and you're looking at the program, it's very quick and easy to pick out your classes because typically what we do is we capitalize the very beginning of it. And then the next line will be V, will be B, and then you can tell me, is that A, B, or C? When you're done with this question, then you're going to go to question number 2. You're going to do the same thing with question number 2. Then you'll do question number 3, so on and so forth. Number 4, and then number 5. And when you're done with that, then you're going to click the Submit Assignment for grading. When you're done and you're ready to create, or when you get ready to complete your next homework assignment, then you're going to go back to your modules in the course. And then you're going to complete the next programming exercise. So let's do programming exercise 1.7. And this is actually a lab, so when you get ready, let's click Start Assignment Now. And as you can see, I was already working on this. I did a system.out.println, and then I said, you can't stop the system, Mal. System.out.println Serenity 2005, because over here are the instructions. It says to compile and test a class that displays your favorite movie quote, the movie it comes from, the character who said it, and the year of the movie. So I didn't really list the character who said it, but it will actually accept this answer, just so you know, and it will count it correct. Now, what happens if we leave something incorrect? So when we do a system.out.println, this is the command. This is the Java command that's telling it to print to the screen. System.out tells us from where the println command, which class it comes from. And then you have to have a string value. This is a string value because it can be numbers, letters, whatever. It's a value that we want to print to screen. So I have that in between parentheses, and then I have to have this quote at the beginning and this quote at the end, and I must end it with a semicolon here. So let's take out this semicolon here and let's see what happens. Now, if this happens to you where you've got this black bar and you can't see, this is just, I think, caused from my recording software. But I will just click on this, and then I change the window size. So now I can click this little run button. So as you can see, it says moviequoteinfo.java 5 error. So line 5, here's the line 5. Error expected, system.out.println, there's Serenity, there's the code. And there's the C right here where there's nothing there. You got one error, could not find load main class. So let's put that back in, and then let's run it again. And that's the output. You can't stop the signal, Mal. And this is from Serenity in 2005. So let's go over here to the left side. This has got a tasks area, and it's all check marked green because we completed this task. You can review it, okay? And then you can increase your workspace if you like, or take it back to where you can see those instructions by clicking back up here on the book area. Now, when you are done, just simply go over here to the left where it says tasks. Click on the tasks, and you'll see this has 2 out of 2 checks passed. Great work. So I'm going to run those checks again. And then you have this submit button right here. You want to be sure to click the submit button in order to submit the score for this assignment. Okay, so now let's go back and look at a debugging exercise. So again, we go back to our course, click on modules, and here are some debugging exercises. So let me click on that and load that up. Then you're going to click Start Assignment Now. So with this debugging exercises, it'll tell you here in the instructions that the files provided in the code editor to the right contain syntax and/or logic errors. In each case, determine and fix the problem, remove all the syntax and coding errors, and then run the program to ensure it works properly. For grading, you're going to write your Java code in the area in the right over here. Use the Run button to compile and run the code, and then click the Run Checks button, which will run pre-configured tests against your code to calculate a grade. Once you're happy with your results, then click the Submit button in order to record your score. So what are some of the things or errors that you think are going to happen? And honestly, if you don't know what they are, you can kind of just look for things that are different. Like, this has got a capital in it and this doesn't. This can be an issue. Well, let me just run it first to show you. And so it's going to tell me here, Java line 5, there's an error right there. And it looks like there's a 1 instead of an L. So this is kind of hard to see, but it looks like a 1 instead of an L, so I'm going to change it. Okay. And then it says Java 6 error, cannot find symbol. So here's line 6, and it looks like there's a 1 instead of an I in there. So I'm going to do that and do an I. Okay. And then it says Java 7 error, package system does not exist. To grandmother's house we go. It's kind of pointing right here at this, but this really is the error right here. We've got to capitalize this. Now let's do a run and see if we got them all. So we did not. Error, main method not found in class debug 1.3. Please define main method as public static void main string args. So it's telling you right there that this is missing our braces. Whoops. Don't hold your shift down for those. Or Java FX must have da da da. Okay, let's try that again. Ta-da! And now when we have the over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Once we get that done, we know that we have everything working correctly. So again, we want to go over here and run the checks so that it gets ready to grade. And then if it gives you the grade that you like, you can go ahead and click the Submit button. And then there's your grade for your thing. All right, everybody, I think that's everything for this class. It should help you to get started. If you have any issues with this class, please, please, please contact me and let me know if there's anything I can do to help, because that's what I'm here for. Let's have a great semester.